Hey, what's going on, traders? This is Mike here with the watch list video for Thursday, April 20th. 420. Elon Musk's favorite day, I think. So the SPY, really low volume, pretty dead. Let's look at the intraday. We had to gap down and then just the slow grind higher all day. Not a lot. Whoops, let me turn that down. Not a lot of opportunities out there. Remember, I'm a day trader, so for me, even if you have stuff gapping, I've still got to have an A+ intraday setup. But a couple calls. Let's see. SAI had a big pop today. It's on the watch list for tomorrow. But if you weren't in chat, Matt D gave a second mouse right here through 350. When it looked about like this. So 350 with the high of day, just a dime above. Doesn't look like much, but it did go pretty quickly to 401. As a day trader, some decent money right there. I gave FRC late in the day, and it already made this big pop. Other people had noticed regional banks moving. They were on morning gap playlist, thanks to WAL. But I'm not sure how I didn't have FRC that, on watch. So I should have seen it through the high of day here. You kind of this cup and handle. This was the best entry as it breaks the high of day with the other regional strong. Unfortunately, I didn't see FRC until it had already done this, so I called a second mouse through 14 right here. So it pulled back, and then even that gave you like 15 cents risk, and the 14 break pretty quickly to 14.53. So again, as a day trader, you can make some money there, but it wasn't a huge day. Something else I think that I caught a pullback in, but overall, I didn't do very much today. It's still nicely green, but I'm kind of at that spot where you guys have heard me say this before, that I kind of need a couple new leaders to show themselves and then start looking for those stocks on pullbacks and that sort of thing. Don't really have any big things moving right now. Almost feels like the AI theme has fizzled out, but having said that, that could come back. It just takes maybe one of them to rip, and then the others, the sympathy plays will start running. So I'm certainly going to keep an eye on those as well. But anyway, here's what I'm watching for tomorrow. VYNE, big volume today, pretty strong close, all things considered. So we're going to watch that for a possible follow-through setup tomorrow. CXAI, speaking of AI, had the big pop here, then a gap up, sold off, and a fairly strong day today, but still closing well off its highs. I'm going to keep it on a chart tomorrow. RELI, big pop yesterday, quiet inside day today, looking for a third day play there. MNMD, let me zoom in a little bit here. This one topped yesterday at 397 and put in an inside day today, but it's holding up pretty well. You had the gap up, sellers came in, and now we're up, right at the highs of the gap up day. We had a spike yesterday, so I do like this for a potential long, only with the proper setup. You guys know that. SAI, not a pretty chart because you had the gap up. So you got a lot of bag holders from up here, but pretty strong day today, so that one is going to land on a chart tomorrow. PTPI, really strong. It's just holding up well. I'm going to keep that one on a chart too. I had a really stupid trade in it today, where I got a pullback in it and didn't get as many shares as I meant to buy. And so I don't know, I got this bugaboo where if I didn't get a full position on something that I wanted a full position, I usually just take a scalp in it. And there's no rhyme or reason for that. And I took like 20 cents in it. It ended up going up $1 from there. But it was such small shares, I just didn't care. But $1 would have been nice. So I got to get better at that. But anyway, it's holding up really well, so it's going to go on a chart. SABS. I'm not in love with this because you got a lot of bag holders from yesterday. Today we actually took out yesterday's low, but then we kind of went out near the highs. It has had good news lately. So let's keep our eyes on that one. I'm going to put a penny stock on watch. Drug had a big pop yesterday, gave almost all of it back, and then today inside day, but a little bit of a stronger close. So something seems like it's up with that one. CNSP, just going to keep it on bounce watch. It did pop earlier today, but it popped early, right? It happened in the opening 10 minutes, and then kind of gave it all back, right? So what I like to see on these bounce plays, most of you already know this, I would like to see like a long consolidation like this and then an afternoon break of its early high, and then I'll probably give that a shot as a bounce play entry. So no trades in it today, goes back on watch. UIHC, I don't think I've ever heard of this thing, and it's not a pretty daily chart. It closed at $1.65, but as I'm talking right now, it's trading at $2.80. I couldn't figure out what the news was. Maybe it had earnings, I'm not positive, but I didn't dig that deep. I just put it in my notes to say, hey, I'm going to watch that as a gapper tomorrow, if it's still gapping in the morning, right? And then MDXH, same thing, not a pretty daily, but as I'm talking right now, it's trading at like $4 in after hours. So maybe that one had earnings as well. I'll check into that before the opening bell tomorrow. So that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. We'll work together as we always do in pre-market, add a few more gappers to the list, and let's find some good trades tomorrow. All right, I'm done.